try and get him out to move up towards his top side, pick off Rich, because realistically you want to try and get Rift out, right? This is a team that... Yeah.
Oh, instantly flash gold card. They didn't give V5 or Rich an instant to react, and that is a fantastic gank up in the top lane.
This Rift out really well orchestrated by TT.
Yeah, Karsa and Dream are in the vicinity, and you still have full access to all your ultimates. There's going to be the tidal wave coming out. Karsa, though, taking a lot of damage. The Heartbreaker to try and break some of that distance. And V5 taking very odd skirmishes right now. And you can see with the Culling coming out on top of PP God, he needs Kog'Maw to save him out right now. And this is honestly very weirdly scrappy right now from the side of V5. That's Verdict. Southwind is isolated, but again, they don't quite get the stun down, and it could be traded back. The Everfrost is big. The Heartbreaker is good. Now Puff on the backside of this, but Karsa takes down Beishuan. The advantage is where he can. Rich is going to find Beishuan, though, on this top side. That's already a lot of his health bar going down. The Heartbreaker is in. They don't have the Slicing Maelstrom just yet, but it does not matter. Beishuan hits them with the Ruined King, and that's going to be enough there for a bit of a pick in the top side.
And then they hit Beishuan rather than hitting both Beishuan and Xiaoshang, but just a little unfortunate there, but still, nice job from TT. And now V5 are in the mid lane with Destiny coming through.
Destiny coming in, but they don't put it onto Photic. Instead, they look to try and take out Karsa, and that's exactly what they're going to do. You do have the ultimate coming out from Dream, but it's just not enough. And I love the fact that they just said, look, we know that you have full summoners, Photic. We're not going to waste our CC on you. We get a free target right here.
And here is the upside of the build that Ucal has gone for, right? Because you're getting so many free things and free gold into this build, it means he does have the very early rapid fire cannon and can look to make these picks when he does TP in. So nice job at least for TT to find those moments to actually push down V5 and get this pick, get the mid lane tower, and opening up the map to let Ucal look for even more.
30 seconds till Dragon spawns. We do see though Beishuan is already on a Puff though. May have to flash here if he's not careful. Does have a cleanse and should just be able to walk away. Oh, nearly got caught out there. Photic thought about it, but without flash and without cleanse, very difficult for him to be able to follow up on that. And as I say that, PP God gets caught out by the gold card and gets hit by the wild ones as well. Beishuan takes himself to Lulu as they try and push forward onto this one. Now they can see with the Keeper's Verdict to try and keep Karsa and the rest of his team alive. Karsa now jumping on the Beishuan, who has to try and get himself away, but he cannot. Karsa's back with a vengeance, has that Divine Sunderer, but this fight is still going, and this fight is never ending. And in the end, TT are the ones that come out on top right now. The tidal wave just coerces them a little bit away. It's going to be the gold card. Oh my lord, the damage! You cannot sit there, Photic, and expect to survive, especially with a single target CC on TT.
To see him trying to link up with V5 in the mid lane instead.
Well, they're going to look for a TP in the bot side. That's going to be the Galio jumping in, but Rich is already taken so low, and he's dead to rights now. Galio, Dream, it's actually a nightmare because he's all by himself. He does land a taunt. He just needs to try and survive for as long as possible. There's the Zhonya's. It's going to land a little bit of extra time. He flashes and the Wild Growth is there. They will kill off Xiaoshang. And that's going to be this hop later's traded off. Now Photic, with no one really there to try and stop him, will keep pushing forward. But look at this Lucian, the damage, the cleanse is a little too early.
Making sure that he can always threaten V5. And that's why Rich, you can see, right? Not actually moving past his tower. Always hugging there for safety. Same with Dream here. Just trying to clear out waves, but keep towards the fog of war so we can't get caught.
As we come up now, 25 minutes onto the clock, we will see double 2 items pretty much for all major carries. You have got the Zhonya's now for Ucal, who's a very rich man and honestly has continuously kept himself relevant. 2-0 and 4 on this Twisted Fate, but we talked about it like, you know, earlier in the draft. You will just be relying on him to basically be a stun card bot. He needs to try and get Photic summoners out before they really engage for it. And I got to give props to Puff, who's really stepped forward to saying, look, I know when I can trade, I know when I can go in onto this Kog'Maw, but it is going to start to become harder and harder the longer the game goes on.
I mean, especially if V5 managed to get this Entered Soul, like, this Kog'Maw just becomes unkillable. Between everything and even the fact that he's going to start like building much more tanky now, once he gets the Guinsoo's Rage Blade completed, like this is where you're really going to start to struggle here as TT. But we'll have to see, because they've been doing a pretty good job of finding those picks and creating this gold lead, at least for the moment. It's just the dragon count is very much a worry for them at this stage. Even if Karsa just gets a steal, that could be just so much in favor of V5.
The perfect dragon for this Juggermaw comp. And TT now starting to feel the pinch of V5 wandering as a 5-man death ball. You can see the plan is to control the vision as best you possibly can. Dream steps forward a little bit too far outside the brush, and Puff, those Winds of War will still hurt you, buddy. You need to be very aware of the damage that can come out. Rich and Puff very, very low at the moment, but we'll have the ebb and flow to try and keep him going. They are trying to go for something here as Rich will get the flash out of Ucal, but he can't get himself over the wall, and that's going to be Ucal maybe trying to get away. He actually just walks away from it with his life, but now the Lucian is dead. Xiaoshang jumping onto Rich, and Rich is just cutting through this team. There's nothing they can do. The damage is just not quite there to take him out, and V5 finally come alive in this game.
And now they can actually run over towards the Baron. You have a ton of damage that can come out from the squad, and I mean, I gotta laugh. Ucal kind of walking away from that one, but it's more so Rich going, I've got bigger fish to fry, because they take down the other members of TT, and now this is a big swing for V5.
I mean, massive momentum now going in. They were about 4,000 gold behind. They're going to be pretty much equal once this Baron buff is taken. And it just comes down to Rich saying, look, I have a Nashor's and a Riftmaker. I am stronger right now. And that failed flash from Ucal to try and get himself over the wall just really hindered him and the rest of his team.
Ucal just taking that step too far forward, not realizing that you actually had Rich waiting over the wall. But it does bait the rest of TT into a great spot here with Karsa. Flash into stun puff against the wall. Xiaoshang tries to protect him with the ultimate, but there's just too much coming from V5. Rich already in a position to follow over the wall, and Photic then finishing off some of these kills.
Well, that's Baron now for V5 as they almost equal out the gold. Still about 1,000 gold behind, but that dragon is spawning. That is going to be Mountain Soul Point. You have to fight this as TT. You don't have a choice anymore.
And you can already see they're trying to set up the vision control spot out where Xiaoshang is. Kar's actually going to find him here.
Oh, he doesn't know that he's there either, and with the steadfast presence, that's Xiaoshang dead. That is such a huge team fight, but ultimate no longer available now to the side of TT, with a TP coming out as well from the Gwen to try and just dissuade everybody else. You feel like this is all but done right now for TT. There's no way they can contest this, and even with the damage they had put down on the Photic, he's got himself a honey fruit. He keeps himself nice and topped up.
And that's the thing, Photic has cleanse and has the QSS as well. So anytime you try to get onto him, you got to do a double whammy of CC to try and hold him in place. It really is just so hard to deal with V5. Mountain Soul as well for the Kog'Maw. I mean, TT, it was a nice attempt, but now gold is even. V5 are in control, and they don't want to let this go.
No, they're not going to let this go. They've got themselves a Mountain Soul. They finally have themselves the gold leads. We see the picture-in-picture. It's just very unfortunate there for Xiaoshang. Just not quite catching the poppy and just gets caught out himself.
And now V5 moved out onto the bottom side of the map. Xiaoshang and Southwind just out of position here. So Dream going to walk forward. Now the rest of TT will show up, but the inhibitor's already gone. Never mind.
Never mind.
It's gone.
Just yet. Got a little
gone.
life
Going.
There it is. They wanted to make sure they weren't throwing it away. You know, dot your I's, cross your T's, and now with Karsa having his flash, Hex Flash back over towards the side, realized Photic's going to need some buddies in order to keep himself alive and healthy. They will land the stone to the Photic, but he immediately cleanses that one away. They're trying to use that Slicing Maelstrom, but he's just not in a position to get onto this Kog'Maw. And you can see now Rich and Kog'Maw starting to shred through these people like they were absolute paper. This is just going to be so easy now for V5. They still have 30 seconds on this Baron power play, and it's going to be an easy way for them to end this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to go for Karsa, running them down. The towers will fall. Kog'Maw standing proud. It took a while for us to get it, but there's the power of the late game.
The power of the late game and the power of V5. It was very shaky for them in the early stages of this game, but the power and the prowess of this squad came true. V5 will take themselves their first game victory